Washington is shaking again because one Republican senator has stepped directly into the fire and demanded something both politicians on both sides have avoided for years. Real, public, no excuses transparency on the Epstein files. After the newest revelations dropped, the quiet whispers in D.C. turned into frantic scrambling, while others try to pretend nothing is happening. This senator is calling for sunlight, full, blinding sunlight. The moment the latest documents surfaced, pressure hit the Capitol Hill like a hammer. Names, connections, unexplained visits, unexplained favors. Suddenly, everyone is pretending like they've always supported transparency. But one senator didn't hide behind the vague statements or weak political posturing, but instead they are pushing straight against the wall of silence that has protected countless powerful people. The political class wanted the story buried. Instead, it's erupting. The senator isn't asking for a partial release, not a curated release, but not a carefully filtered set of documents approved by the same institutions that failed to act for years. They want everything unlocked: the logs, the contacts, the financial links, the communications, and every piece of evidence sitting behind closed doors. And they aren't doing this for political theater. This is a direct challenge of the system that has shielded the powerful for far too long. It's a warning shot to anyone who thought their influence could bury the truth forever. You can immediately see who is nervous the moment transparency is mentioned. The talking heads start panicking. Senators suddenly lose their voice. Analysts on cable networks scramble to change the subject. Lobbyists start whispering in hallways because transparency doesn't just threaten one party, it threatens anyone who has benefited from secrecy. Then the senator is pushing this knows exactly what they're doing. They're cutting through the quiet protection racket that has surrounded this topic for years. They are forcing colleagues to pick a side, and a lot of people in Washington do not want to be forced into that choice. For years, the Epstein case has been treated like some political hot potato, everyone tossing it around and no one willing to hold it. But this time it's different. The new release is too detailed, too wide-ranging, and too impossible to ignore. Even the most powerful institutions can't simply brush it aside. And the senator demanding transparency is using that momentum like a battering ram. They're not being polite about it, and they're not trying to protect feelings. They're not worried about whose reputation might get bruised. They want accountability, and that alone is enough to terrify half of Washington. Of course, the system is fighting back. You'll see sudden attempts to rewrite the narrative, sudden excuses, and sudden distractions. Some will say transparency is a security issue. Some will say the public wouldn't understand the context. Some will claim this is old news. But everyone knows what this really is: a desperate attempt to slow the momentum before it becomes unstoppable. The senator pushing transparency isn't backing down. They are raising their voice, making the pressure, and making it impossible for a political establishment to return to business as usual. People across the country are paying attention. There's frustration, anger, exhaustion from many years of secrecy and confusion surrounding a case that has haunted politics, finance, and global power circles. And now, with one senator pushing harder than anyone else, the public finally sees that someone challenging the silence that has protected the elites for far too long. This isn't a political movement, it's a cultural breaking point. Whether Washington likes it or not, the demand for full transparency is out in the open. One senator, it's the fuse, and the entire political establishment is staring at the explosion coming their way. The moment exposes a simple truth. When someone finally stands up and pushes the system head on, the cracks begin to show. And if the push continues, the pressure keeps building, and the truth that has been buried for years will now finally be seen in the daylight. No spin, no filters, no protection for the powerful. Just the truth the public has deserved all along.